Well, hello, folks. It is I, Ben McQuinney, and it's Wild Wednesday. Happy Hump Day. Here I am. Look at that. Once again. And behind me, that guy. Who is that guy? We'll find out at the London Boat Show. Hopefully. Anyways. And there's Samantha. Hi, Samantha. How are you? Dan. Hello, Dan. Dan, you're going to like this one, buddy. We got a girl from the good old North Carolina. She's coming on. She's going to talk about fishing and bass and women and fishing and bass. Hi, Sam. How you doing? Nick, good evening. As you notice, folks, we have pushed it back to 8 o'clock because, well, hey, we all could use a little bit of extra bed time, right? Anyways, that's not why we pushed it back. We pushed it back because, well, most of my friends work in and around the GTA, and they can't get to and from the GTA and get home and get all that and get locked in to my Wild Wednesday podcast. So they said, Ben, do me a favor, brother, can you push it back to 8 o'clock? And I said, absolutely, I will do that. I will push it back to 8 o'clock just for you guys. So without further ado, I am going to bring in my first guest, and let's see here if I can. No, I can't. I can't add her. Why not? You got to fix something there, Sam, so I can add you into the feed here. I need your camera to work. So, Ian, thanks for joining, buddy. Wild Wednesday. Wyatt, thanks for joining, bud. Yeah, crazy week. It's freezing rain out there right now. What do I suggest? Do you have your camera on? There should be a setting. Somebody help us out. Checking permissions. Okay, great. She's a wonderful girl. She's actually been afforded the opportunity to group up with another group of women. I don't want to take too much of the story, just giving you background, to help in this new initiative put forth by Take Me Fishing in the United States. Here in Canada, we have a similar program of Take Me Fishing, which is, I think, catch fishing. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah. Oh wow, got a lot of screenshots here. She sent me a bunch of cheat notes, and she's trying to get on here, folks, so give us a little bit here. It'll all work out. It's like Snapchat or Instagram or whatever. Turn the camera on. I don't know. I have a face for radio, so what do you do? Right? Later on, Joey Ford is going to join us, and we're going to talk about making a Livingston right here on Wild Wednesday. Don't know if anybody saw my behaviors earlier on the on my story, me ranting. But yeah, there's a serious condition of the heart out there, folks. And trust me, I know conditions of the heart. We need to work together. When somebody's looking for help, help them. If somebody's being a D-bag, call them out on it. See, a lot of situations can be, easily fixed if people just, have a hands-off policy. If there's a comment that goes out that triggers you, just leave it alone. Hands off, right? Hands off policy. Oh, it's too hot. Can't touch it. I'll burn myself. Anyway, I'm going to be at the London Boat Show. How many thumbs up can I get for that? Be More Outdoors is coming to London. Come on. Thumbs up? Anybody? Come on. Show me some love. No love? Okay, it's okay. I know you love me. I don't need thumbs up. How you doing, Sam? Can you try to invite me through... okay, sure. If you go there and watch this feed, yep. Try that. Yes, she's very, very involved. She's not only a bass angler, she's a tournament angler. She's also a mother, and it was her grandma that got Sam started, and her dad was an outdoorsman as well. And she's a member of BASS, and she just qualified to go fish in Maine in the Eastern U.S. Canadian series, Bass Nation. So for her state of North Carolina. Wow, right? Kudos to girls who fish. So if anybody's watching this right now, this is a little tip off to girls who fish tonight. So I think you're all just a great group of gals, and you hold your own out there. And you know, there's quite a few of you that I'm not gonna try and outfish you. I probably won't be able to, and I can easily, you know, yeah. There's no room for macho with some of the girls that I know that can fish. Yeah, no macho men, no room for them. No, these girls will wet a line and sew up the story so bad that, man, guys will never fish again. They just cry their way home, and I think it may work now. Okay, sure. I'm going to try it here. I'm going to click on your picture. Does it work? No, hang on. No, I can't. It should, actually, Sam, if you try leaving and then come back in, what I need to see is a little green camera underneath your picture there. And then you'll be able to do it. So, Paul, how you doing? You did what? Wyatt says all 3 of my girls fish and 2 of them hunt. Wow, good for you, Wyatt. Mom and Dad are proud. That's awesome, buddy. I still haven't really turned my boy onto hunting. He doesn't mind throwing the camo on, and you know, he likes the idea of firearms and bows and arrows and stuff, but he doesn't seem too keen on pulling the trigger yet. So, and that's, you know, it's not all about that. I may have to join from my phone, not laptop. Okay, yeah, probably, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, try that. We'll see you in a bit. I'll just keep pontificating. I still have viewers. It's all good. Adam, thanks for joining. Adam says, my buddy James, 2 daughters, love fishing as well as musky fishing. Awesome. Man, there's nothing that warms my heart more than seeing little kids with big fish. It's like, all those videos I've been posted of little kids hand over hand and big fish out of the water. Oh my goodness. Yep, I'm right here, Sam. It's all good. You're back already? That was fast. I still don't see a green camera though. I'm looking for the green camera. Maybe I'll refresh my page. I don't know. Hang on. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe I need to lock out. Excuse me. So it's freezing rain out there right now, folks. It looks like. So anybody that's driving, you better not be watching this podcast. No, you better be. No, you should be watching it safely, not driving and watching at the same time. Safe at home, yes. Okay, I'm going to turn that off. That's gone. Okay, taking me fishing. Amazon, you still haven't connected the web page. Wow. What the heck, Google? Ian, I just want you to know, son, you count your lucky stars that you have a crew. I'm a one-man show. I do this all myself. There it is! The blessed green camera! And without further ado, Canada's favorite outdoor host, Ben McQuinney, brings you Sam. Samantha, here she comes. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hey guys. I don't know if it was a setting with my cell phone or what, but I was actually on my laptop so that I wouldn't give everybody motion sickness like I tend to do sometimes when I do videos on my phone. So yeah, I was hoping to use my laptop to be still, but so much for that.
I get a little bit of feedback. So you have me on speakerphone.
It's
You may want to check that.
see, I'm not. It's just my phone. I'm doing like the Facebook Live on the phone.
Oh, okay. All right. Turn it up.
Too close to my laptop.
I'll turn my volume down. Maybe that'll help.
Okay, I turned mine down also.
Perfect. That's good. All right. So you just qualified for Maine Eastern.
The Bass Nation.
U.S. Bass Nation tournament. Tell me about that.
It's the Bass Nation Eastern Regional. Each year, the states, and I think they've actually changed which states are going to be participating in it this year, but each year the states that are in each region hold qualifiers to get, hold on a second, I'm sorry, so that their members can qualify for the Bass Nation Eastern Regional or whatever region they're in, and then there's a certain amount from each state that progress on. If they do well enough, they'll progress on to the national championships, which can also get them a. They could even, well, actually, they do. Some of them qualify for the Bass Nation, the Bassmaster Classic, through that.
Mm-hmm.
That's just one way of kind of making your way to the Bassmaster Classic. But it's actually last May, I fished on Lake Hickory for the first time. And that's out in the western part of our state, probably about 4 hours west of here where I am. I'm actually close to the coast. And so I fished in my first tournament of the year, and I ended up catching more fish than I've ever caught in a tournament. I caught my first limit on the first day of the tournament, and then I caught my second limit on the second day of the tournament, which that was like the best feeling ever. I even culled on the second day, and unfortunately, we had to go in probably 30 minutes earlier because something happened with the live well. My fish were starting to get kind of sluggish. So instead of, and at the time, like when I started that morning, I was in 4th place, and I wasn't sure if it was the top 2 or the top 3 that would advance on. So instead of chancing my fish dying and having quarter-pound penalties, we went in 30 minutes sooner than the weigh-in was supposed to start, and all of my fish survived. Thank God. It would have tore my nerves up if my fish had died. Because I also helped some with the North Carolina Bass Conservation.
Good for you.
Yeah, so that it means a lot to me that these fish get released alive and are there to be caught again. So I finished in 3rd place with I think 1931 pounds, and I qualified for the second time to join the North Carolina Bass Nation state team in the Bass Nation Eastern Regional. So I'm excited. Thank you.
Come on, people. Come on.
Appreciate it.
Another female bass angler going on to a championship tournament. Let's go.
Yeah, well, the first time we went, the first time I qualified, we actually fished the Chesapeake Bay, the upper Chesapeake Bay in Northeast Maryland. And there was 350 people competing. And out of that 350 people, there were 3 female anglers. 2 of them were fishing with with the New York team. They were both, I believe they were both from Ontario, but they were fishing with the New York Bass Nation. So that's how they qualified. But it was
So this is where we segue into the initiative making wings. So tell us about that, how you got honored to be part of Team Fishing.
Honestly, I'm still trying to figure out how I even can compare to the other ladies that were there this past weekend, and they are all such accomplished, amazing anglers, and they're captains, and they've got all types of, like some of them hold world records and things like that with the IGFA. But I found out about the initiative initially this summer at ICAST, at the RBFF.
That's my show.
That is such an awesome experience. If you haven't ever been, you need to go. I'm working on getting my media credentials right now so that I can, for that specific reason, to get, which I mean, I plan to go a little bit, hopefully, but I'm trying to get my media credentials for that as well. So I learned about it this summer, and then they've actually officially kicked it off now, but they're trying to get more women involved in the boating and fishing industry. And if you, so apparently the research shows that most children actually go fishing or learn to fish from a female, maybe their mom or their grandma, just like my situation. I mean, my grandmama was probably the biggest influence on me finding my passion for fishing. And so they're trying to get more females involved in boating and fishing. But even if you think about it, when you see the advertisements and things like that on TV and in magazines, most of the time you've got men in the spotlight, but the women are actually
targeted.
Yeah, the amount of women that are fishing, excuse me, cattail on my face, move. The amount of women that are fishing is growing exponentially, and I can even attest to that as well from two of the tournaments. When I was at the Bass Nation Eastern Regional in Maryland, I met a Facebook friend of mine who told me that she'd actually started tournament fishing because she saw me doing it. And she was like, well, if you can do it, I can do it. So I was like, that meant more to me than I could even begin to explain. And then there was another lady I met at the one in Hickory. I didn't meet her until day 2. But so I'm there weighing in my fish. I'd already weighed in my fish. She had brought her daughter with her that day, hoping to catch the weigh-in so her daughter could see me weigh in my fish. But she had seen me the day before weighing in fish, and she was really surprised to see a female out there because I was the only one. I mean, it's nothing for me to be the only girl competing in some of these events against.
It feels that way sometimes.
And it's okay, because once you put that rod in my hand, you've leveled the playing field. I don't feel at a disadvantage in any way. So when she came out there the second day, she told me that she'd grown up, and still to this day, her family told her that girls can't fish. They can't do the tournaments. I'm like, well, obviously that's a lie, because you see me, I'm here, I'm doing it. But she had been fishing on the bank the day before, and then she came the next day and brought her daughter with her just to show her that you can do this too. And that stuff like that that blows my mind, because we can do anything that we want to do. Now, I've always been a tomboy, so I've never been afraid to get in and mix and go right along with the boys, and always felt that I could do exactly what they were doing. I've never let that hold me back, and that's what we're trying. The Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundation and TakeMeFishing.org, and I'm going to mess this up. VamosAPescar.org. That's their Spanish. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to encourage women to get out there and fish and boat, because we can all do it. That should stop us from doing it. And it is growing exponentially all the time.
In certain demographics too, the women are the people that have the buying power in the family too.
Right. And their research, let me look at this thing. I think I've seen something to that effect. No, I'm sorry, I was thinking of something else.
It's okay.
My bad. Let's see. I mean, if you think about it, if you think, like I said, with my grandmother being the one that kind of inspired me to fish or helped me find my passion for fishing, if you know anything about like Aaron Martin's mom. She was the one who taught him how to fish and got him out there. And now he's out there fishing the pro circuits and things like that. And I mean, and that was years ago. So they're trying, it's amazing to see what they're doing to get them out there. But their research says that it is 45% of the new participants in fishing are female. And of that 45%, 42% of them are just ages 6 to 12. And you think about it, a lot of times it is the mothers or the grandmothers that are taking them out there and getting involved with them.
That's a huge market.
Yes, it is. And right here it says 63% of daughters participated in fishing with their mother, compared to only 45% who would participate with their family. So it's important now to try to, I guess, include women in these advertising campaigns for the fishing, because when they look at the advertisements and see it, they don't see themselves. So therefore, they don't feel like they fit into that industry. Like it said, and I posted something to that effect last week, 1 out of every 5 females, there's only 1 out of every 5 that can actually see themselves in the fishing industry or in the boating industry. And I'm telling you, I'm amazed I'm very humbled and honored just to have a chance to be involved in sharing this campaign, because we can do anything. You know that song, anything you can do, I can do better.
Yep.
I fully believe that, and I fully believe that goes along with fishing as well. And the fish don't know who's on the other end of the line. I mean, they don't.
They don't. And age is just a number, and it's never the number on the scale.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes,
But
sir.
I don't want to cut you off, but by all means, continue your work, and get in touch with me again, because we'll do it all over again, and I want all of your adventure, because you just starting right now, and you and I, we've been friends on Instagram for quite some time now. And I've seen you grow, and as soon as that came out, I was like, I gotta have Sam on the show.
I appreciate you having me more than you know, really. Thank you so much.
Because I know you had a message to give, and you girls are doing a bang up job out there. And keep making waves and casting off labels.
I'm definitely not afraid of my Right. And I just got to get my my boat trailer right so I can be my own captain.
There you go.
I've never been afraid to rock the boat, that's for sure.
Good girl. All right. Sam. Folks, if there's anybody saying you'd like to say hi, go ahead right now. You got 30 seconds.
Hey, everybody. I love you all. I don't know. I can't think. I'm bad on the spot. Thank you, TakeMeFishing.org. Thank you, Recreational Boating and Fishing Foundation, and the Miami International Boat Show. Yamaha Motors and Grady White Boats. They all were instrumental in getting us out there and making it such an amazing week last week. I can't wait to do it again. I'm just honored to be a small part of it all.
Awesome.
Thank you. See you in person. All right. Have a good one. Now, I don't know how to leave this. You're going to kick me off.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
And that was Samantha. And we'll get ready for, I know there's a lot of echo. I don't know why. I think I'm going to turn my, I think my face, shut her down, and then I'm going to start again. And when I come back, I'm going to be coming back with our boy Joey Ford. All right. So give me 3 seconds. Okay, try again. And silly me, I ended up deleting that last one. This is so hard. See? There's Wyatt. I can bring Wyatt on. I can bring Dan on. I can bring Sam on. I can even bring Linda on. Ah, sure, why not? I'll bring Linda on.
Hey, Linda, how's that? Why not? Right? Sure. And then just hand the phone to Joey. Hey, Brady, thanks for joining, buddy. There he is. Yeah. Put it there, buddy. High five.
All right.
Good thing you
Let
have
me
a
get
good
a
woman, son.
Oh my
That
God,
woman of
my
yours
phone.
is a gem.
I tried to do one of these deals with Moose and the CFN and the OFC guys, and my phone, my laptop, nothing. And my wife to the rescue, set it all up. Now I'm on my wife's phone. So
Yeah, I kind of figured that when I seen it. I was like, okay, well, that's got to be Joe.
yeah, yeah. What's going on,
So,
buddy? Hey, Samantha, if you're still on, keep up the good work. I've been following you since I first started seeing you. Probably, I'm gonna say 3 or 4 years ago. I've been following your pond fishing adventures and
yeah,
making your way
she's
up. And
she's a
pretty cool.
pretty special girl, eh?
Yeah,
And
it's a
she
true
just does
testament,
her
right?
own thing. She's out there
Yep.
wetting a line, taking pics of her and fish, and you know,
You don't need to
and
have a
I
fancy
have to
boat.
say, she's one of the classier girls out there too, doing it right. Like she's not,
Mhm.
So,
Yeah, she's
but
got something pretty special figured out.
yeah, that's for
Yeah, and
sure.
it's a true
So
testament,
this,
right?
my folks, is my buddy Joey Ford, Bass Pro. You've toured now how many years? Across Canada and in and out the states, like the back and forth thing. You're on a special
Se-
tour.
Yeah, 17 years. I compete in the FLW Costa division. Um, I compete in the Canadian Pro Tour, which would consist of the Pro Bass Elites, the Bronzeback Cup, and the Canadian Open, which are really the pinnacle of the sport in Ontario
Hmm.
and Canada.
Yeah.
Um, the Canadian Open's got a special spot in my heart. I'm waiting to win that one pretty soon, hopefully.
And the funny thing is, you're not Canadian.
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you are?
Yeah,
No.
I was born in,
Where did I get this thought
well,
that
probably,
you?
no, probably because I spend so much time in the US.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, you're
I
not the
always
first
thought
one that
I
thought
thought
that.
I thought you were like on a fishing visa or something.
No, no. I spend a lot of time in Texas every
Yeah,
spring
it's true.
chasing
You do.
trophy
And
buckets, and then I
and
spend a lot
like
of time
you have a
competing.
family now too, don't you, Joe?
Yeah, we've got a 13-year-old, a stepson, a 13-year-old stepson, and I've got a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old, and I'm married to the love of my life, Linda. And I'm
I,
not just
like
saying that because she's online watching that. Oh, she's not
no,
online
no, I
watching
hear
this.
you.
I have her,
You.
I have her phone.
But to put it all together, like because honestly, you're running your own business right now at this point,
Mhm.
right? Yeah,
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 yeah.
it's Joe Ford Fishing and Outdoors is the corporation. So that kind of encompasses just about everything we do, from
Yeah.
working in tourism with the outfitters and setting up guided fishing trips for people all over the world, and also the competitive aspect, the pro fishing circuits,
Mhm.
and trying to make my way as a pro angler and chase down the dreams, just like our buddies Corey and Chris Johnston kicking butt on the Elite Series right now.
Right? And
You know?
we got Coop and Ash and
Yep, yep. It's a pretty exciting time
Eric, and
for
yeah, we got a good group of sticks out there representing the sport, and it's kind of neat to be in my seat from a media point of view, because I get to see this dynamic of Canadian culture breaking down the American bass mega giant that it's been for so long. It's been an Americanized sport for like decades,
I
and
think, Ben,
Canada is
what
just keep beating the
I
door
think
down.
I think really, bass fishing is will always be primarily known as a, you know, an American pastime, as a big deal, especially in the South. Like Mike Iaconelli talks about it in his book, how hard it was to break those boundaries down because it was a Southern dominant sport, right? But what
Hmm.
people don't realize is, you know, most of North America and the northern states and the provinces in Canada, like we're full of giant bass. I mean, sure,
Hmm.
you go to Texas and right through that southwest into California, you get into those mega
Yeah.
giants and you can catch a 15 to a 20-pound largemouth bass. But when you're talking about, you know, a lake like Lake Simcoe, where your average fish is 3.5, 4 pounds, and a
Yeah.
you know, a good fish is 6 pounds, and now you have a realistic opportunity to catch one
Yeah.
that's like
I
eight
think
plus
I think
pounds.
Ontario offers probably the best
Yeah, yeah.
for
Well,
bass
it's
fishing.
it really is, you know, and not just Ontario, like northern states, like you've got upstate New York has some of the most phenomenal fisheries. Like you can go out on Lake Champlain in June and July and have 100 fish day. Like it's, I think it's the you look at the South and there's not a lot of man-made, sorry, there's not a lot of natural lakes. It's a lot of
Yeah,
man-made
it's a
reservoirs.
lot of
So
man-made
you,
stuff. Yep.
you put such a huge, I mean, they have such a massive population over us, and you put so many people onto these bodies of water and so many big tournament trails that they can really blow up these bodies of water. But now people are really starting to take notice at the St. Clairs and the Thousand Islands and the Lake Simcoes and the Lake Champlains because, you know, there's not a lot of mega bags coming out of some of those lakes now, and you're seeing the 30-pound bags come out of Lake Simcoe and
Yeah.
Thousand Islands
Yeah.
and
And
Lake St.
we
Clair.
had always said, you know, uh, during the whitefish crisis, the lake will turn around. The lake will turn around, and well, yeah, it did
Yeah,
in more ways
yeah,
than one.
in a huge way. You know, it's exciting time for bass fishing. Being a
Yep.
competitive angler and what's available right now for grassroots fishing. Like for example, Dave Chong and myself, we got phone calls from a school in the States asking for if we knew anybody that might fit in a criteria where they'd be offered a scholarship to go to a school. And this was like stuff that's being offered to Canadians now. So, I mean, the walls are
That's
coming
good.
down and
Yeah.
it's a really exciting time for bass fishing and competitive fishing and just fishing in general. So
Yeah. I
it's pretty
think,
cool to watch.
yeah, well, and that's what led me to have Sam as a guest tonight because that was like right out of left field.
Hmm.
Saw that one.
Yep.
I was like, whoa, that's an initiative that we need to, you know, um, adopt or adapt or hook up with and get that out there. But I think also as Canadians, we still have the boys club. Fishing's a
Yep.
boys club.
Yep.
And if it weren't for the girls like Ashley and April and
Yvonne.
Mariko, you know, and Yvonne, all them, but
Hmm.
breaking the barriers down, Kimberly, you know, Angie, all these
Yep.
girls that are out there wetting lines and knee deep in river and hoisting big salmon, you know, my heart just pounds for them because, yeah, it primarily was a male dominated sport. But I want to say that if Joe and I are making a living, you girls can make a living doing it too. Go
Absolutely.
chase your dream, chase that big bag, right?
Yep. 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 I've got a friend, a female fishing guide, Terry Moon, and she's a good friend with Bob Azumi. Her husband used to fish tournaments against Bob years ago, and she's one of the busiest fishing guides on Lake Fork. Her name's Terry Moon. If you want to
Okay.
go catch crappie on Lake Fork in Texas,
Yes, I
she's the
do.
guy you go with. But like, I mean, she's one of, I mean, there's a lot of women, but being a male dominant sport, I think
Yeah.
they get overshadowed and they're breaking walls down right now. Like
Yeah.
Michelle, Team USA had Michelle Jalaba fished on Team USA in Florida at the Pan Americans, and we got to meet Michelle,
Nice.
and you know they
Hmm.
caught a she fished with Shirley Crane, who's a veteran on the FLW tour, and
Uh,
they caught a mega
Going to
bag.
take a couple questions here for you, Joe, because we got
Okay,
15 minutes. So we'll take a little break here. Any questions for Joe?
Hey, Mark. Mark Hunter's watching. He's handsome.
Hey, Mark, how you doing, buddy? And Adam's watching, and Rob's watching. I like when Sparkus Fisher's watching.
Good
How
man
you
right
doing,
there. Good
buddy?
man.
Long time no
And
see.
and he fishes tournaments with his wife, Linda.
Right? Yeah. Mark Hunter says Joey's his favorite. I thought I was. No. You know what? I was so choked. I wanted to be there last weekend,
Well,
and it looked like it was hopping.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun.
Yeah. I wanted to
I
see
thought the
Big Jim
attendance
because I have where did I put it now? I have his Bassman magazine,
was with
and
the
I wanted him to sign it for his 65th birthday. I wanted his
that'd be
autograph
cool.
on my magazine cover.
I was at dinner for his birthday. I'm just gonna put a sweater on because I'm in my basement and I'm getting pretty cold.
Yeah, that's why I put one on. My mudroom door is so drafty. It's horrible.
I think I just put Linda's on. Yeah. I don't. Can you guys see how small that is?
I don't know. Your head's turning red. Is it cutting the?
Yeah, exciting times for fishing all around. I mean, some guys are doing
Yeah.
some amazing things right now. Ian West and Mark Hunter and Sean McCall are they're really taking the social media scene by storm with their fear
Tell me
fishing
about it.
broadcasts and their experiments.
Compared to those guys, I'm like,
No,
I'm
but
Mickey
here's the but no, you're not. But you're not, Ben. Because here's the thing, man. Like you're putting yourself out there, and you're giving.
Yeah, I know. No,
You're giving
I
a
love Ian
forum
West
to.
and the boys and what they're doing, and I'm really proud of them. And you know, it's fun to be in the mix. I love it. I love it.
If
And
it
this is why I
wasn't
try to stay neutral and love everybody equally, right? No need
if
to
it
come
wasn't for
on to
you,
me and hate me. I love y'all. I just love the fish and I want to share it with the world. You know what I
that's
mean?
right. If it wasn't for you, the Bens and the Ians, who else am I missing? The Mooses from OFC, the Scotties and the Reds and the Jeff Richards. Like you guys are putting out the forums to make a really inviting atmosphere or habitat for anglers, new anglers to
Oh,
come into the
absolutely.
sport
And this is what
and
we want.
learn.
We want
So,
the camaraderie because, like I had said earlier, is there's a serious condition of the heart out there today in society.
oh yeah,
A lot of broken people, and a lot of broken people that won't pick up a mirror and say, "Hey, I am broken, and I need to fix me first before I can, you know."
yep,
And
yeah. It's with all the
that's,
dark
I think,
times.
where a lot of the boundaries are getting broken down in fishing too. Is, hey, they're looking at the system, they're saying this is broken.
Yep.
We need to fix this and fast.
Well, I think we're on the upswing.
Yeah, I do
And I
too.
talk about this when I speak, when I do public speaking engagements or seminars. It's one of the foremost runners. And any time I talk is, with the horrors of life that happen in the world, look at what we get to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we need to
Yeah,
be, as anglers, we need to be better to our neighbors. We
yeah,
need to be kinder because,
yeah,
the public sees us, they see us on the water, they see us at events, and we need to do a better job at being
yeah,
ambassadors to this
yeah.
sport because really,
Absolutely,
in all
100%.
honesty, no matter what political party's in, no matter what's happening in the
Yeah,
rest of the world, no matter, what religion is fighting what religion, at the end of the day, we get to go fishing.
yeah, yeah. Right.
Like
What
none
better?
of it matters.
What could be better than that? Right. Yeah.
This is it.
I started when I was 11, 12, and I haven't looked back since. And I wouldn't say that I've been trying to get my face on TV because, well, everybody knows me already anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yep,
I'm big in Japan too, right? So,
yep, yep.
but I love it, and because it's a freedom. I found my freedom from my social anxieties through fishing. I was bullied through elementary school, and it was my only escape. And then, sure enough, you meet a couple guys, you're out in the playground, and you hear the word, the F word. They say it, and you hear it, and you hear the, and you're like, did you just say fishing? And it's a club you're in. It's just that simple. But
It is.
lately, right? It's a picky club. It's a, you know,
I've seen
it's
it
like that
for the
meme
last,
that's out there. You guys all think you're better than me, and it's like
yeah,
musky fishermen, walleye fishermen, you know.
yeah,
And yeah, these are real issues that plague our industry that I want to bring to the forefront, and you know, because like what I went through today, just to try and get a ride to the London show so I could see you guys and be part of it and give my 2 cents out there for the world. You know, I just, huh, no wonder people are shut-ins. No
yeah. It's a
wonder
tough
people
deal,
have
man.
given up on social media completely. It's horrible out there.
It's a tough deal.
It
I've
is.
seen since Facebook and everything kind of started, I've seen people on open forums post pictures and be bullied on Facebook,
Yeah,
people in fishing
yeah,
communities. You know, I've seen people well within their legal rights to catch a certain amount of fish, post a certain kind of fish and get bullied as a result. And it's a tough deal. And I think it's, you know, it's no different than any other industry or any other workforce or any other
hmm
environment that we're in. There's always going to be those people. So,
yeah, yeah.
you
There
know,
is.
be kind to your neighbors, have
Hmm
fun. We get to go fishing, you know,
Yeah.
educate.
Life is too short. I know that for a fact.
Yep. Yeah, it is, brother. It
And
is.
you know, there's no fish in there. Okay, I'm gonna let you all in on a secret. There's no fishing.
Yep.
There's not. So enjoy it while you got it here, because
Mhm.
well, there wasn't for me anyway. So I don't know. Maybe there'll be some for you, Joe, but there wasn't any
Well,
for me.
you're still you're still here with us to preach the
Yeah,
good
and
word,
that's the
man.
main thing.
So
I guess I served some small service to
that's
mankind
right.
that the big guy felt it necessary to keep me around.
Yep. Yep.
But tell me about the
Yep.
Livingston lures.
Cool.
What's the new bait that Joe's throwing in 2019 that you recommend to my viewers?
To your viewers, new bait. I'm going to say before I even begin a pitch on Livingston Lures is to get over to livingstonlures.com and do a little reading, do a little research on the technology because I'll tell you, 10 years ago when I started to hear about, you know, lures that made sound, right away my thought
Hmm
was, you know, that's really,
Yeah,
I don't know if
me
that's
too.
for me. And then I met the team 6 years ago in Texas, and I met the VP and I met a bunch of pros, and I started to take notice that the guys in the industry that are throwing these baits, the Hank Cherries, the Randy Howells with a Bassmaster Classic Victory
Yeah,
fishing the Livingston Lure crankbait, the Jacob Prosniks, the list goes on, right? And you know, I got some of these baits and I'll never go after a sponsor or I'll never represent a company unless I absolutely believe in the company, believe in the product,
yeah,
because at the end of the day, I'll never build a relationship. Remember this to all you new aspiring tournament anglers. If you build
yeah,
a relationship on a lie, if you take a sponsor because they're just going to give you some baits and you don't use the product and you don't believe in the product, you've just built a foundation. You've just built a foundation on a lie. Your foundation's going
yep.
to be
It's
weak.
true.
The longer that you build that
Yep,
relationship, the longer that it grows, the weaker your building's going to be, and how long is it going to go
yeah,
until it collapses? So
yeah.
believe in your product, believe in what you're doing, believe in yourself,
That's
and
that's best advice you could give, Joe. Thank you so much. Absolutely,
it's true.
100%. Um, there's not one patch on my New Jersey that is a product or a person that I don't believe in.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And I think what young guys need to, the young aspiring guys need to realize is, when I wear SEM outdoors mega jigs on my jersey and I go fish a charity tournament, I'm still representing SEM, and not so much the company. I'm representing a person and a person's family and a person's set of values.
Yep. You're part of it, man. You're part of the team. You're part of the family.
Yeah.
You're part
Yeah.
of their business,
Yeah.
you know, and this fishing deal is my life, right? This isn't just
Yeah.
my part-time hobby.
No,
my
it's
week-
like
you know,
it's in you.
it's my life, you know, and
Yeah.
I've been fortunate and blessed to be able to have a life in the fishing world, you know, and
Yeah.
do some pretty amazing things in the fishing world, and you know, it's given me a home today, and it's given me a family, and it's been a pretty big awesome deal. And if it wasn't for, you know, the companies that believed in me, like the Livingston Lures, the Set the Hook Baits, you know, the Ranger Boats and Evinrude, like these companies believed in what I'm doing and backed me and made all this happen. So I'll give you a little rundown on the bait. So electronic bait fish sound was revolutionary because remember, guys, predator fish can hear a lot further than they can see. Now I
Yeah.
can promise you, I put this to the test, and I've thrown an electronic bait fish sounded bait from Livingston Lures near a spawning bed in Texas, near a bass that was on a bed. And I watched within seconds that bass eat that bait when nothing else would work. So I started to believe in the product and believe in the technology, and I started to watch some of what the biologists were doing with the company as far as
Mhm.
matching the hatch, crawfish sounds,
Yeah.
distressed bait fish, the sound of bait fish's gills make under the water. So these are some of the things that Livingston Lures has incorporated into their baits. So over the years, the line of baits has really expanded. So there's not enough time in the day to talk to you guys about every individual bait, but I can tell you from a multi-species perspective, living in Ontario, that we have a wide
Yep.
variety of bass fishing lures, not only largemouth and smallmouth. We also have multi-species. We've got a predator series that was designed
Yeah.
by the world famous Pete Mena. And he
Yeah, I
designed
saw
all the
those.
baits.
I was like, I want to throw one of those on St. Clair. Mm-hmm.
So this
Yeah.
guy here is it's a smaller version of the Sneaky Pete. It's called the Rachel, and it comes in a wide variety of match to hatch North American colors. There's your perch.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a musky jerk
Yep.
bait, but it has EBS sound. So you
Okay.
think about musky fishing, how many times you've seen a muskie follow your bait and not eat it? Imagine you
Yeah.
can jerk that bait, stop it, and watch that muskie eat your bait because the sound just fired them up. You
Yep.
know, so it is a difference maker.
Yeah,
I know crawfish.
I would definitely want an opportunity to fish a bait like that. Just for, just to see it blow up
Yep.
on it.
This guy here is an example of a beautifully
frog?
built hollow belly frog. I'll take it
Okay.
out of the package. This is called the Freddie B. Now, when this bait came out a couple years ago, it won Best at Show at ICAST, which is the international fishing
Okay,
show in Las Vegas.
Is that the one with, is that long ribbons, strands, and it's knotted,
Yeah, well,
right?
the elastics come off, and it's just
Okay.
no different than any other hollow belly frog. But the big difference is it's got EBS technology inside of it.
Right.
So now this pad, when you get those short strikes on the lily pads, now you've got a talking frog, a croaking frog
Yeah,
sitting
a
on the
croaker,
pads making
yeah.
sound.
Okay. That is
So
awesome.
those
I
are a
like
couple
that.
pretty neat
That is a
baits that
neat
came
idea.
out. Yeah, and when you go on Livingston Lures website and you look at some of the colors and some of the hatches that they've come up with, from the ghost bluegill to the true brim and the gizzard shad, and I can tell you, I fished the FLW Thousand Islands Coast event last year, and I had a top 10, and I fished a lot of soft plastics out there, but one of my search baits to locate those big fish
Gizzard shad?
was, what's that? Yeah, it was a
Was
gizzard
it
shad.
gizzard shad?
Yeah, a gizzard shad square bill, and it was a difference
Yeah, because
maker.
you only want to keep in that
Yeah.
2-3 search area, right?
Yeah, and it's all really depending on what you're fishing and where you're fishing. But like we've
Yeah.
got three different types of square bills. We've got a coffin bill, 1.5, which dives 1 to 3 feet, so you can run it really
Yeah,
shallow.
if I wish I had my other whiteboard handy, but it does change the way the entire bait moves, the way that bill is shaped. If it's
Big time.
rounded completely, that
Yep.
lure is going to move in a completely different way than
Yep.
if it was squared off. And I don't
Yeah,
think a lot of people know that.
your
And the
traditional
coffin
square bills.
is angled, right?
Yep. And it gives
Okay.
the bait more of an erratic wobble in the water, so it gives it a wider sweep, right? And then your traditional square bill with the like the microchip square bill that's
Yep.
directly square. Ideally, a square bill was designed with that bill for cold water situations because it has a tighter wobble.
Yeah, it does.
So when
It's
fish
really
aren't
tight.
reacting to a wider displacement of water, that smaller bill has a tighter wobble. They eat it a little better when it's cold, so in the fall and in the
Mhm.
spring. But that's an
Yep.
example of, we've identified three different varieties of square bill crankbait, which is, one of the top bass catching techniques known to man. And we've gone from there. Now, I'm going to show you guys something. The cat's out of the bag on this one. It's a new bait. And for all you topwater fanatics, whether you're topwater pike or bass fishermen. So I'm a fishing guide. Majority of my life, I'm guiding, I'm running the business in tourism, and I'm fishing with people from all walks of life. So I need to have lures that are easy for people to use and exciting for people to use. So to put it into perspective, it's hard to give a recreational angler a fishing rod and a walking bait and say, I need you to walk the dog. You got to pick up just
Yeah.
enough line that bait
Yeah.
walks side to side as you're sweeping your rod tip down. They look
Yeah.
at you like you're speaking in a different language. We've come out with the Walking Boss 2.
Okay.
Now, this bait is so cool. I don't know if you guys can see it from where you're at home. It's the body of the Walking Boss with a
Richard,
jointed
thanks for
tail.
joining, buddy.
So
Okay.
it's the body of a Walking Boss with a jointed tail. So it's got a
Nice.
sweep, but
Yeah.
it's got the
So it does it.
traditional
It basically does it for them.
and it's
And
got a
yeah, that's
traditional-
neat. Eh? It's cupped, so
it's
it
a
does that
jitterbug. It's like a jitterbug mouth.
like a chug bug. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like a
when
jitterbug, yeah.
When this hits
Yep.
the surface and you wind it, it jumps on its own.
Oh
And I
wow.
can promise you,
Super easy.
I fished in the World Championships in Chichilo, Mexico, and in the morning we had a window of topwater biting.
Yep.
And this was the bait that I turned to. And
Mhm.
even the guys from Team USA, when I showed them the bait, they couldn't believe that we've incorporated a walking style bait with, the traditional open-faced jitterbug
Mhm.
mouth to make that
Yep.
bait really, really hop and dance. So, hey,
But I
Linda, if you're
noticed-
watching, can you bring me a phone charger, Linda, please? Linda?
What I noticed too about that bait is again the coveted dress treble on the back.
Yeah.
And
Good
I don't
deal.
know. I'm glad I have you on tonight because you could probably shed some light on this phenomenon. Do you find your catch percentage higher on a dressed as opposed to a plain?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
If you were to ask me the science behind it, I probably couldn't tell you.
Me neither.
I've seen bait fish that had almost looked like feces hanging out of the back of them.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know if that has something to do with it.
Who knows? It could be the displacement of the water too.
Yep.
As it moved. But I've always like on a MEP spinner. If it's not dressed, I ain't throwing it. Simple. I've never had luck throwing an undressed MEPs.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason we've been
So-
tying marabou and bucktail onto things for
Right?
forever. I mean,
There's something
fish
about
can
it.
get-
And Mike Parker, who I missed also, who I'll hopefully get to see in London, he ties with marabou and bucktail, like on his bucktails.
Yep,
These are all
yep.
marabou. And
Linda,
there
say
is
hi.
definitely.
Hi.
Hi, Linda.
She brought me a phone charger because I'm like at 5%.
Oh, she's a good woman.
I got a couple of shout outs here. Wyatt, thank you very much for the props, bro. I really appreciate it. As far as Canada Bass is concerned, keep your eye on the internet, because we've got Canada is tentatively hosting the Pan Am. There's still a few details to work out, but I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag too much. But Canada's international sport fishing delegation has been formed. The members of the team are involved, and look for us in future competition. There is going to be qualifying events and what have you. But
That's
anyways,
awesome.
Wyatt, thanks a lot for the props. And we were talking about women anglers. I gotta give a shout out to my girl Anais Chavez. She fishes with her husband Brian Hughes. They're a tournament team, and they kick butt. I don't know if they're watching or what, but it's an honor and a pleasure to hang out with them and fish against them and watch them compete as a husband and wife team. It's really cool. And
I think from a perspective of social media outlets and businesses such as guiding or media like me and Ian West and Scotty and all them, I think social media allows us the ability to stay connected to those closest to us and allow us to watch them grow. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
You and I both watched Sam grow from this pond angler to representing a national organization. And
I know, it's awesome. It's amazing.
Again, we need to really focus on this condition of the heart in our industry, and continue to break the walls down and continue to welcome new anglers and unexperienced people, and to handle people with kid gloves. You don't know their backstory.
Yep.
You know, so.
Yep.
But
not everybody
Joe,
busts into this. Not everybody busts into this industry. You know.
Right.
We all started somewhere. You know. We all have a past,
we did.
and everybody wants to learn. So.
Yeah.
You know, here I like to use this one, and it's perfect reference to like the secret spot and you know, the secret bait. Do you think Kevin Van Dam became as successful as he was because he hid all the secrets from all the Strike King developments and all the lures he designed?
No, not at all.
You know?
No,
like
he
these
shared them.
companies that we represent want us to talk about the product and talk about what works and what we believe in. So you know, it's really important. I do have another lure that I want to show you, Ben, if we have time.
You got another 30 seconds, so crank that into 10 seconds. You got 20 seconds to thank your sponsors.
Jig and Spoon.
What is that? That's ice fishing. That says ice fishing all over it.
Not just ice fishing, ledge fishing, deep water. It's a jig and spoon with EBS, with electronic bait fish sound.
Neat.
Distress
that
shad.
Looks like something that I would use for surf casts too.
Yep.
On the big water on the beaches.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
That's cool. Are you going to the London show?
No, I'm not. I'm way too busy. We're myself and Dave Chong are going to be doing seminars in Moncton, New Brunswick.
Okay.
At the Moncton Sportsman Show.
And him and Jim are going to Ottawa too, aren't they?
Yep.
They're going up to Ottawa. Are you going with them?
No, I won't be there. I'm pretty busy up until I'll be leaving for Lake Fork, Texas, pretty much when I get back from New Brunswick. And then when I come home, I start it all here. So if you guys want to, you know, if anybody that's watched your broadcast or anybody that's hooked up with your Facebook page, if any of you ever have a question, you want to learn something, here's my number one rule. If you take the time to message me on Facebook or text message or phone me, I'll take the time to answer you.
Yep.
So
that goes for me too, folks. Yep. 100%, man. We're here to help.
100%. So anyways, all you social media.
Thank you, sponsors, and I'll cut you loose to get back to that beautiful woman of yours.
Livingston Lures, thank you guys. Ranger Boats, Evinrude, running the best water, gets me home safe to my family, and the best boats ever built. And Set the Hook Baits, Canadian owned, operated, and designed. Duckett Fishing Rods, Lang & Fetter Motors in Trenton, Ontario. If you guys need a new F-150 or any Ford product, get down
Yep.
and see the team. They're family people you can trust. And Bay Marine in Trenton, great dealership for all your power sports needs. So yeah, I
Awesome.
don't think I missed anybody. Thank you very much for having me on. I really
Joey,
appreciate
it
the
was a
time.
pleasure, buddy. And again, I missed you, and I really wanted to make it down there last weekend, but we'll do her again next
Sounds
year.
good, bro. Sounds good.
Right?
You know where I'm at.
Yeah. Hey, Joe, you keep doing it, I'll keep doing it. Deal?
Thanks, brother. Deal.
Okay, man. Peace. Happy
Later.
trails.
Thanks,
Tight
guys.
sticks. Joe Ford, folks, thank you very much for tuning in tonight for my two very special guests, Samantha Gay from North Carolina. Both check out Sam and Joe on Facebook, and go check out those Livingston lures and Set the Hook baits. My personal favorite. And I got a call coming in. That's odd. Jeremy, I'm on a live broadcast here, silly. Anyways, but stay tuned, folks, because the next time you see this face is going to be coming to you live from London. All right? Until then, tight lines, happy trails, safe hunt.